Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Rebuild Your Shoulder program. Today and in this video we will cover the remaining drills that you can apply to your shoulder to strengthen global muscles of the shoulder complex.
Alright guys, let's dive right in. And in this drill we are working on the rhomboid muscles, squeezing shoulder blades together, using a very light band that is attached roughly at the level of my navel. And then we're moving to the Ys. So a band attached pretty much in the same place. Your arms will be now traveling up, so slightly overhead. You can alter the angle in the shoulders. You can go a little bit higher, closer to the ears, or maybe a little bit wider. See what feels better. You can also modify to a single variation and just work on the shoulder that you're really trying to rebuild. And you probably will be using your core a little bit more here. Next, horizontal abduction. So the band stays attached in the same place, very easy transition. We're just pulling the band across the chest. So we're working again on abductor muscles. So here mostly pec major, anterior delt, right? So you can reach higher, level of your forehead, maybe sweep right in front of you and modify. See which angle feels best. Next one is a jab. And here we're really focusing on not only actually kind of punching forwards, but also at protracting the scapula, letting it glide forwards on top of your ribs. And also as I'm extending my arm in front of me, I'm trying to internally rotate as I'm protracting the scapula. So it will give me a little bit bigger reach. So again, pec, delt, and a bit of bicep here. Okay, into shoulder flexion. So again, progressing from a jab into long lever, so long arm, straight arm, reaching forward. See how you feel. Again, it's going to be a little bit heavier on that long head of the bicep tendon. And into horizontal abduction. So we did abduction in the first video, but now you are working with an arm at the shoulder level, higher or lower. Bear in mind, I'm rushing a little bit through those drills, so feel free to really slow down. Next, into bilateral external rotation. That's a nice progression from the first video that I've made on the shoulder rehab. Here we're using both arms. Again, light band. You don't want to stand too far from the rig or wherever the band attaches to. And again, I'm first retracting the scapula, sending elbows back, and then knuckles to ceiling, trying not to flare the ribs. So really ground yourself here. You can do it seated as well. Now again, this is a progression of just regular scapular controlled articular rotations where we're trying to combine all the movement of the scapula. Elevation, retraction, depression, and protraction. Here I'm using a 6-kilo dumbbell. So I'm working on my traps, levator scap. For bicep curls, I'm using much thicker band, heavier band, creating more resistance since bicep is not, again, a calf, not a deep muscle. It's very superficial and strong. So here we've got supination, palms up, and then pronation. So I'm using a little bit more, or depending more on brachialis muscle here than bicep itself. And then again, if you had any irritation of the long head of the bicep tendon, you could consider doing isometrics. So just pulling halfway and holding and just making this your drill. And now to upright row. Again, if there was any problem with supraspinatus, I probably would not be doing this drill in particular. However, since this is a part 2 where we're looking at the whole shoulder and global muscles, here I'm trying to focus on deltoids, right, which is the abductor of the shoulder, as well as trapezius. Right, next one is a pec stretch with a band. So fairly heavy band that will actually allow me to stretch through the front of my chest. I paused there for a moment as I felt that deep stretch to the front. Lat pull down and tricep pump. So this is all done supine, so on your back. You can obviously have your feet on the ground. I'm using the same sort of thicker, slightly thicker band to work on the pull down. There's again lats, but also teres major involved. I'm also adding, I'm lowering my legs, so I'm adding a bit of core work and hip flexor work just to give myself a little extra challenge. I've actually borrowed this drill from reformer Pilates, right? Because that's what you do on the reformer bed. And here is tricep pump, which is a natural, again, progression. Since you're in the same position, using the same band, so it feels just like a natural progression. Okay, moving on to scapular retraction. So again, we're focusing on rhomboids, on the scapular gliding, anteriorly and posteriorly. So I'm using, again, thicker band. You can even use the stronger band, so just see what feels right. Be very mindful not to move your thoracic spine or flare the ribs or move your neck instead of actually shoulder blade. And also elbows stay straight. Now, this is just another setup. My arm is slightly more overhead, so I'm working actually on scapular depression and retraction. The band is much thicker. And then the key thing to focus on is elbow staying extended. So we're actually moving scapular thoracic joint and not moving glenohumeral joint, that is your shoulder. Alright guys, back to the pecs. Last drill, pec MET. MET stands for Muscle Energy Technique. I'm borrowing this name from manual therapy. And the concept is that we are first stretching the pec, hold the stretch for a while, 15-30 seconds. And after the stretch, we apply contraction. So we're pushing hand into the wall. It's a low level contraction, maybe 10-15% of your max strength. And then after that, relax again, try to gain a little bit more range of motion, creating deeper stretch, and repeat about 3 times. Alright guys, that's it for part 2, and good luck with your recovery. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos. Ciao!